to understand the learning curve and to help other YouTubers to be better and to understand what's involved when they're starting the journey as a YouTuber, I compared it with the one thing that happened in my life before. So I had a problem with my lower back that was getting worse and worse every day, that I actually couldn't roll out from the bed. Actually, I couldn't stand up from the bed. I actually had to roll out from the bed. And all in all, I got to this physio and to a system called KISA. I started my journey probably 2 years ago and so on, or maybe 3. But what I was trying to compare it, with the strengthening curve that I actually experienced there. The strengthening curve, it was based on just a 4 to 5% increase in strength and in power based on the exercises that you are doing. So in order to do that, I will give you the connection with our mobile vlogging station with Ed. Cheers, Ed. Just came out from the gym here, Kisa, and as Ed in the studio was telling, to do a parallel between the learning curve that you do as a YouTuber with the learning curve and the strength curve that you have to do when you do a gym. I started the gym with Kisa, I think it's about 3 years ago, when I had a big issue with my lower back. I could barely go out from the bed. I had to roll out from the bed, not to stand up. And slowly, based on the program, I built up the muscles, the core muscles and everything, to get me in a good shape right now, where I don't have any problems with my back. I'm just doing, it's called maintenance, and from time to time I retarget with my physio some other groups of muscles. But their system, it is very simple in essence, although that is targeted based on the machines that they have. It's basically, you have to do 120 seconds on a certain weight. If you can do that 120 seconds, then the next time you will have, I think, a 4% or a 5% increase in weight. The same goes with learning and the learning curve that you have as a YouTuber. Every time you do a new video, your learning curve will increase and the knowledge will increase as a result, with at least 5 to 10% of things that you find out. All in all, I will actually show you probably a graph on how I develop my strength from being in the first 55 percentiles of the population, the first 98 percentile of the population. Bear in mind, I'm not doing gym to be muscly or to buff up. I'm doing it just because I want to be healthy. So back to you, Ed, in the studio.
Hi, as promised, I will show you my strength test graph that I did when I started KISA, or going to the gym, based on the physio indication. So the first test that I did, it was in 16th of March 2019, and you see we measured at different angles the strength and what percentile I was actually part of. So we went from an angle of 0 degrees to an angle of 60 degrees, but the problem was that I couldn't actually function pretty well at 60 degrees, so that was a big 0. And you can see here the graph. So I was pretty low, actually. In some points I was 17%. You see the 48 degrees, I was really suffering in that area, so I couldn't bend actually backwards in a sense. And then after just showing every week, twice a week, and doing physio, I started to get in average, I managed to achieve 92.33% percentile. I was in the 92.33 percentile of the population. Then another test, I was actually achieving 100 percentile of the population, and in average 96.5. The last test that I did in June, it shows me at 98.33 percentile of the population. So you can see all the angles improved, and that's just by showing up every week and doing what we are doing. The difference actually, it's almost 1 year if you can compare it. So I started in March last year, the last test was in June this year, so in average is about 1 year. And this is what I was trying to explain to you, that just by showing up you manage to be in the top 100 percentile of the population. The same goes for YouTuber, and the same goes for our learning curve.
So in the last 5 weeks, my learning curve, as I told you, it was pretty great. I actually had to learn how to edit videos, and that was done with a lot of research to see what software is the best value for money, to not break the bank. And this is why I bought PowerDirector 365. You pay about $80 per annum, and you actually have access to Shutterstock videos, royalty-free videos, background music and photos. That's pretty rare, because I think if you go Shutterstock, it's about $400 or $40, can't remember, per month. It's good value. I done a lot of due diligence around what camera to buy, and I bought a Sony ZV-1, which is right now the hot potato around vloggers. It's a pretty good camera. I also bought a new phone, an iPhone, that I'm trying to tame. I'm an Android user, so it's a little bit hard, this journey, but this is actually a great camera. This is why I bought it. It's a pretty expensive camera, although, and I still have some quirks to solve. I bought a new gimbal, which is a now house stack gimbal. It's down over there. Anyway, pretty good stuff. Had to learn how to use that one too. I dealt with microphones to see which microphone is doing the best job. I also bought, I think the microphone doesn't work. I bought some other microphones as well that are not quite great, because right now I'm using the camera mic, and I think it's a pretty good, decent sound. Yeah, so I learned a lot. I learned about SEO. I actually did a subscription to TubeBuddy, and I also have an affiliate link down. I have a lot of affiliate links actually for also for the Sony ZV camera, for the OnePlus 8 Pro, which I did a video last week, and I reviewed the phone, and I will review some other items as well. As I told you, the iPhone 11, not the iPhone 12, because I think the iPhone 11 was a great deal, and usually when you are using the camera, you're using the front camera, and this is why I bought the iPhone, because it has a 4K camera that goes up to 60 frames per second. It's the same. I think the only other camera that does that is the Samsung Note series and Galaxy series, the S20s and the Note 20 Ultra. I'm looking for a good sweet deal on that one as well. I'm actually thinking if I can just abandon a camera, normal camera, and just use the phones, because they are doing the great job. They can do a lot of stuff. Anyway, I was a little bit slack. I probably recorded content for 3 videos, and the problem is that I never got myself to edit them. It was a pretty packed week, and the lockdown is partially over here in Melbourne, in Australia, but it was a long time between the beers, how they say. Last time when I had a beer at the restaurant or a pizza place, it was in March, and now it's October. It's actually November immediately, so it was a long time. I'm pretty happy about that, and pretty reflective of what happened in the whole world.
So please subscribe to the channel, help us to get to the first 1000, and also don't be shy to use our affiliate links. I have a pretty good deal on the TubeBuddy SEO YouTube channel, SEOing, and also have some good deals over there as well. Even using funnel softwares, a good deal that Builderall, so please don't be shy and use it to help us to grow this channel. Thanks, and until next time, peace and lots of help.